Cleveland Indians baseball. We're at Cleveland Stadium today as the Baltimore Orioles take on the Cleveland Indians. Indians won their first two games. They won opening day against Milwaukee. Then the next day they had a doubleheader schedule, but that was rained out. Then they won a Patriots Day game in Boston, and they have lost their last three in a row. Last night, Baltimore beat them 9-2. A game that was highlighted by Andy Etchebarren's three-run home run. We'll be right back with the starting lineups. Okay, testing, testing. We're at Cleveland Stadium where it's Baltimore against Cleveland. Jim Palmer gets to start for Baltimore. He's made one start on the year. He's 0-1 with an ERA of 5.63. This is his first start against the Indians. He'll be opposed by Dick Tidrow for Cleveland. He's made one start on the year. He's 0-1 with an ERA of 7.36. His first start against Baltimore. It's 55 degrees. Wind speed is 2 miles an hour left to right, so it's a chilly day on the lakefront. It is Saturday, April 22nd, 1972. Baltimore is 5-1 against the 2-3 Cleveland Indians. Since going to division play in 1969, Baltimore has won the AL East every season. And they have parlayed two of those three division championships into two World Series appearances. Although they lost both of those World Series. In 1969, they were beaten by the Dodgers, and last season they were beaten by the Pirates. In 1970, they lost the ALCS to Minnesota, and Minnesota went on to beat the Mets in the World Series. Here's Don Buford, the 0-2 pitch. Liner to second base, Brohammer leaps, and he has it. One out. Game got underway quicker than I expected. Here's the starting lineup for Baltimore. Leading off the left fielder, Don Buford. Batting second to right fielder, Merv Rettenmund. Batting third to center fielder, Paul Blair. Batting fourth to first baseman, Boog Powell. Batting fifth to third baseman, Brooks Robinson. Batting sixth, the catcher, Elrod Hendricks. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Dave Johnson. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Mark Belanger. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Jim Palmer. On defense, the Indians will line up with Tom McCraw at first. Chris Chambliss tweaked a hamstring in the second game of the season, and he is day-to-day right now. Rookie Jack Brohammer is at second. Frank Duffy, newcomer from the Reds, at short. Greg Nettles at third. In left field is Alex Johnson. In center field, Del Unser. In right field, Buddy Bell. Catching is Ray Fosse, and on the mound, Dick Tidrow. Dick Tidrow made his major league debut on Tuesday in Boston, and he looked pretty good, but then he weakened in the eighth inning, and the Red Sox were able to rally against him and reliever Vince Colbert for 4 runs and ended up winning the game 8-5. Here's Merv Rettenmund, the right fielder. He's hitting 200. No home runs, no runs batted in. He is 4 for 20 in the young season. Liner, left side of the infield. Nettles dives and he's got it. Nice catch by Greg Nettles. Indians start off with two excellent defensive plays. Here's a center fielder, Paul Blair. He's hitting .350, no home runs, and 2 runs batted in. Okay. Da, 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 da. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Curveball. Fly ball in the right center. Unser drifting over, and he's got it. 3 outs, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We go to the bottom of the first. After a half inning, Baltimore nothing, Cleveland coming to bat. Indians starting lineup will be Del Unser leading off. He's at center field. Jack Brohammer, rookie, batting second. He's at second base. Batting third, the left fielder, Alex Johnson. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Greg Nettles. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Tom McCraw. Batting sixth, the catcher, Ray Fosse. Batting seventh, another rookie, Buddy Bell. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Frank Duffy. Batting ninth, the pitcher, another rookie, Dick Tidrow. On defense, Baltimore has Boog Powell at first, Dave Johnson at second, Mark Belanger at short, Brooks Robinson at third, Don Buford in left, Paul Blair in center, Merv Rettenman in right, Elrod Hendricks catching, and on the mound, Jim Palmer. Palmer's a control pitcher, keeps the ball low, can throw the ball pretty hard. He is noted for giving up a fair amount of home runs, but in his career, he has never given up a grand slam. He was 19-7 last year with an ERA of 3.09. He is 80-40 lifetime. His first appearance was against Detroit, and the Orioles lost that game 5-2. He went 8 innings. He gave up 10 hits, 5 runs. He gave up 2 home runs. He walked 2. He struck out 4. Always like seeing Jim Palmer at the ballpark. For some reason, I couldn't really explain it. I like his overhand windup. Leading off for the Indians is Del Unser. He's hitting .304. No home runs, 2 runs batted in. Ball 4. Unser came over to the Indians from the Texas Rangers. He was part of the deal that sent Rich Hand and Mike Paul and Ken Suarez to Washington. Here's a rookie, Jack Brohammer. He is 0 for 3 on the young season. He's gotten into 3 games. He is 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter. got into the. In fact, he's been in the 3 games that the Indians have lost, the 3 in a row. He's actually a switch hitter, but he prefers hitting left and doesn't really want to be a switch hitter in the majors. Just below the belt, strike 1 on curveball. Strike 2 call. That was a fastball there. Hendricks had to jump for that one. Ball 1. Strike 3 called. 1 out. Here's Alex Johnson hitting 182 with 1 home run, 1 run batted in. He is 4 for 22 since coming to the Indians. He came over in the trade for Veda Pinson. Fastball, low and outside, ball 1. Strike 1 called. Count is even, 1-1, ball 2. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Too high, ball 3, full count. Bouncer to short, to second for 1. No throw to first. 2 outs. That brings up Greg Nettles, hitting 389, 1 home run, 5 runs batted in. He's off to a great start. Breaking ball. Line shot down the left field line, but that's foul. Outside, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Caught the inside corner, strike 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We played 1 inning here in Cleveland, no score. For the Orioles in the second, it will be Boog Powell, Brooks Robinson, and Elrod Hendricks. Boog Powell's hitting 143, no home runs, 1 run batted in. Boog was bothered by a bad wrist most of last season. He had hit 46 home runs in 1969. He was the MVP that year, and he was also the MVP of the ALCS that year. He hit 314, hit 313 in 1970 with 35 home runs, and last season his numbers were down to 264 with 25 home runs. But he did have 97 runs batted in. The 3-0 pitch. Curveball, too high, ball 4. Here's Brooks Robinson. He is hitting 273 with 1 home run, 3 runs batted in. Brooks Robinson's been a regular for the Orioles since 1958. He has 2,394 hits. Not bad. As a third baseman in that time, he's made 174 errors, has a fielding percentage of .971 as a third baseman. That is pretty good. Nobody out. Runner on first. Fastball. It's fly ball in a right center. Buddy Bell coming in. Unser over. Bell has it. One out. Dick Tidrow, he's about, I want to say, about 5'11 maybe. And he is the shortest of the Indians pitchers. The Indians pitchers, they have a lot of big guys on their pitching staff this year. Here's a catcher, Elrod Hendricks. He's hitting an even 200. No home runs, 1 run batted in. He is 2 for 10 on the young season. Fly ball down the right field line. Bell is after it, but it makes the seats. I was looking at some video taken in 1970 at Cleveland Stadium. And this picture I have for the stadium is not quite correct. The smaller fence, the one in front of the bleachers, was actually on the outfield grass, and it was much smaller than I remember it as a kid. I think this year they raised it to, it always looked to me like it was about 7 feet. The 0-1 pitch. Oh, he got hit right in the midsection. So he'll take first. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Here's Dave Johnson, who's hitting 250. 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in. That caught the outside corner. Strike 1. Base it up the middle. Unser charges it. And Powell is not going to test his arm. Powell stops at third. Bases loaded. 1 out. Okay, 1 out. Bases loaded. It's fly ball into left field. Alex Johnson back. He is at the wall. He's got it. Powell tags. He'll score. It's 1-0 Baltimore. Tidrow, he's a hard thrower. Probably not quite as hard as Palmer is, but he could bring a little bit of heat. And speaking of Jim Palmer, he is up. He is 0 for 2 on the young season. In there at the knees, strike 1. Caught the inside edge, strike 2. In there below the belt, strike 3 called. But Baltimore gets 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Baltimore 1, Cleveland 0. For Cleveland in the second, it will be Tom McCraw, Ray Fosse, and Buddy Bell. Tom McCraw is hitting .273 with no home runs and no runs batted in. He came over from Texas in the deal that brought Roy Foster back to Cleveland. In fact, let me check something. I'm back. I just wanted to double check. That is indeed the trade that sent Ted Ford to Texas. Ted Ford wasn't really happy about leaving Cleveland, but Tom McCraw, when he heard that he had been traded to the Indians, responded like a paroled convict. That he was extremely happy to be coming to the Indians. And Roy Foster, I think, said that he was happy that he was traded to Texas and then Texas traded him right back. So Foster never actually appeared for the Rangers. Here's the 3-2 pitch. High and inside, ball 4. Here's Ray Fosse, the catcher. He's hitting .235, 1 home run, 3 runs batted in. Grounder to short. Belanger to second for 1. Throw to first, not in time. 1 out. Here's the rookie, Buddy Bell. Buddy Bell is off to an excellent start. Sitting .353, no home runs, 5 runs batted in. In this game, in real life, Buddy Bell hits his first career home run, and that was a grand slam. It's a fly ball into center field. Paul Blair drifting back. He has it. 2 outs. Here's Frank Duffy. Duffy came over from San Francisco with Gaylord Perry. He's hitting .375. No home runs, 5 runs batted in. He's off to a good start. Dick Tidrow's on deck. Fastball, strike 1 called. Little high, ball 1. Fouls it back. That's out of play. Swing and a miss, strike 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We played 2 here in Cleveland. It is the Orioles 1, the Indians nothing. For the Orioles in the third, it will be Don Buford, Merv Rettenmund, and Paul Blair. Don Buford is 0 for 1. He hit a liner to Jack Brohammer that he made a leaping catch on. Don Buford, he was the American League MVP back in 1970. He's hitting .346, 1 home run and 2 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch. Base hit in the right field. Buddy Bell has it. He tosses it back in. Here's Merv Rettenmund. He's 0 for 1. He lined to Greg Nettles. Nettles made a great diving catch on his liner. Rettenmund is taken over in right field from the recently traded Frank Robinson. Too high, ball 1. Right down the middle for strike 1. Inside, ball 2. Low and inside, ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. He chased one out of the strike zone there. Strike 2. Looked like he may have swung at ball 4. Ball 4. That puts runners on first and second. Nobody out. Here is Paul Blair, who's 0 for 1. He flied out to Del Unser in the first. Sitting .375 with runners in scoring position. Fastball. That one bounced to the plate. Ball 1. Little high. Ball 2. Bunt. Tidrow has it. Throws the Brohammer. Let me see if that was Brohammer covering. Yeah, that was Brohammer covering. That advances Buford and Redmonds. We have 2 men in scoring position, 1 out, and here is Boog Powell, he walked in the second inning. Powell hits base hit in the left field. Buford scores. Redmond holds at third, so we have runners at the corners, 1 out. Orioles lead 2-0. Here's Brooks Robinson. He is 0 for 1. He flies to deep right center in the second inning. Hendricks is on deck. Swing and a miss on a curveball. Strike 1. Inside, ball 1. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hits a grounder to first. McCraw throw to second for 1. No throw to first. Redmond scores. It is 3-0 Baltimore. So 2 outs, runner on first. Here is Elrod Hendricks. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning. Changeup, swing and a miss, strike 1. Low, ball 1. Grounder to third, Nettles. Throws the first. 3 outs, but Baltimore gets 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We go to the bottom of the third. It is Baltimore 3, Cleveland nothing. Baltimore's here tomorrow, and then Cleveland gets on the road to go to Chicago, Kansas City, and Texas. Bottom of the third for the Indians, it will be Dick Tidrow, Del Unser, and Jack Brohammer. Dick Tidrow is 0 for 2 on the season. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. 1 out. That's strikeout number 4 for Jim Palmer. Here's Del Unser. He walked in the first. The 1-1 pitch. Oh, he got hit on the leg. Here comes the Indians' new trainer, Jim Warfield. And up there, walking Unser back to the dugout. Looks like he may be done for the game. They're going to send John Lowenstein in the pinch run for Del Unser. Here's Jack Brohammer. He's 0 for 1. He struck out it back in the first. Grounder up the middle. Johnson to his right. Backhands it. Toss it to Belanger for an out. No throw to first. 2 outs. Runner on first. Here's Alex Johnson, who's 0 for 1. He grounded into a force play back in the first. High and outside, ball 1. Up and in, ball 2. Fouls it back. 2 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Base hit into right field. Broham around second. He'll take third. That's the first hit of the game for the Indians. Here's Greg Nettles, who's 0 for 1. He struck out in the first inning. The Indians have Joe Lutz coaching at first base and Bobby Hoffman coaching at third. Strike one called on Nettles. He looked at strike two. That was a curveball. Bouncer to second. Johnson's up with it. The throw to first. 3 outs. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. 2 men left. We have played 3 here in Cleveland. It is Baltimore 3, Cleveland nothing. All right, let's take a look around the league. And after the bottom of the 5th in Montreal, the Expos lead the Cardinals 1-0. That's Reggie Cleveland for St. Louis and Ernie McAnally for the Expos. Bottom of the 3rd at Fenway Park, the Yankees lead the Red Sox 4-1. That's Fritz Peterson, future member of the Cleveland Indians, against Sonny Siebert, former member of the Cleveland Indians. Top of the 1st in Texas, the Angels lead the Rangers 1-0. That is Ricky Clark for California and Pete Broberg for Texas. And bottom of the 1st in Milwaukee, Tigers and Brewers are scoreless. That's Joe Coleman for Detroit and Bill Parsons for Milwaukee. Indians hit Bill Parsons kind of hard a week ago today on opening day. John Lowenstein stays in the game for the Indians. He will be playing center field in place of Del Unser. For the Orioles in the 4th, it will be Dave Johnson, Mark Belanger, and Jim Palmer. Dave Johnson is 1 for 1 with a single today. The 1-1 pitch. Pops it up on the infield. Duffy has it, 1 out. Here is Mark Belanger. He hit a sacrifice fly in the 2nd. That scored Boog Powell with the first run of the game. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball in the center field. Lowenstein to his left has it. 2 outs. Here is Jim Palmer. He is 0 for 1 today. He struck out in the 2nd. Buford's on deck. Pops it up. Fosse tosses his mask away. He's got it. 3 outs. Nothing across for Baltimore in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is Baltimore 4 or Baltimore 3, Cleveland nothing. It'll be Tom McCraw, Ray Fosse, and Buddy Bell for the Indians. Tom McCraw walked last time up. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball in the right field. Rettenman is there, and he's got it. 1 out. Here's Ray Fosse. He's 0 for 1. Grounded into a force play in the 2nd. The 0-1 pitch. He hits fly ball in the right field. Rettenman is there, and he's got it. 2 outs. And Buddy Bell, he's 0 for 1. He fly to deep center in the second, the 2-2 pitch. Base hit up the middle. This is Buddy Bell's sixth major league game, and he has gotten a hit in 5 of those games. He went hitless yesterday, but he had a walk. Here's Frank Duffy. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the second. Too high, ball 1. Grounder to short. Belanger the throw to first. 3 outs, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 4 here in Cleveland. It is the Orioles 3, the Indians nothing. Don Buford leads off for Baltimore. He is 1 for 2 today with a single. He singled and scored on his last trip up. The 1-2 pitch, base hit into center field. Here's Merv Rettenman. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. He walked and scored in the third. Ball 1. It's a shallow fly ball in the left field. Alex Johnson's coming in. He's got it. 1 out. Buford holds at first. Here's Paul Blair. He's 0 for 1. He flied out in the first, and he had a sacrifice bunt in the third. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Strike 1. Outside, ball 1. Curveball. Fly ball in the left center. Johnson's racing back. He's at the wall, but that's gone. Home run for Paul Blair. That's his first home run of the year. And it's 5-0 Baltimore. Here is Boog Powell. He's 1 for 1. He walked in the second, and he singled in the third. That drove in Don Buford. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. 2 outs. That brings up Brooks Robinson, who's 0 for 2. He has a run batted in. He drove in Merv Rettenman on a force play in the third. The 1-1 pitch. Grounder to second. Brohammer has it. Throws him out. But the Orioles get 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, no one left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It is Baltimore 5, Cleveland nothing. For the Indians in the 5th, it will be Dick Tidrow, John Lowenstein, and Jack Brohammer. Tidrow's 0 for 1. He struck out in the first. The 0-2 pitch. Tidrow, it's a base hit in the left field. Buford was a little slow coming in on that one. Here is John Lowenstein. He's making his first at-bat of the season. He's making his first appearance of the year today. He got into 51 games with the Indians last year. He had 149. 1970, he got into 21 games, and he had 345, so he was kind of up and down last year between Cleveland and Wichita. I think he was called up for good after Jack Heidemann had knee surgery. Ball 1. Way off the plate. Ball 2. Swing and a miss on a curveball. Strike 1. That was out of the strike zone. Too high. Ball 3. 3 balls. 1 strike. Fly ball down the right field line, but that is drifting foul. Full count. Ball 4. Third walk given up by Palmer. Here's Jack Brohammer, who's 0 for 2. He's still looking for his first major league hit. He struck out in the first, and he hit into a force play in the third. Grounder to second. Johnson to his right has it. Tosses to Belanger for 1. No throw to first. So we have 1 out. Runners at the corners. Here's Alex Johnson, who's 1 for 2. He has a single today. Grounder to short. Might be 2. To second for 1. No throw to first. Brohammer took Johnson out. And Tidrow scored. It is 5-1. Here's Greg Nettles, who's 0 for 2 today. Nettles had a great year last year. He appeared in every inning of every game. He had 262. He had 41 home runs and 126 runs batted in. He walked 81 times. He struck out only 69 times. Fly ball down the left field line, but that will make the seats foul. Swing and a miss, strike 3. But the Indians get 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We have played 5. It's an official game here at Cleveland Stadium. Baltimore leads 5-1. The umpires today are Larry Knapp behind the plate, Art France at first, Merle Anthony at second, and George Maloney at third. The only one of those guys I remember is Larry Knapp. For Baltimore in the 6th, it will be Elrod Hendricks, Dave Johnson, and Mark Belanger. Hendricks is 0 for 1, and he was hit by a pitch. The 1-2 pitch. Liner to first. And McGraw has it. 1 out. Here's Dave Johnson. He's 1 for 2. He's singled. It popped it short in the 4th. The 2-2 pitch. Fly ball in the center field. Lowenstein, he's going a long way for that one, but he's got it. Looked like that might have gone out, but Lowenstein pulled it in. 2 outs. Here's Mark Belanger. He's 0 for 1. Sorry, I had a slight technical difficulty there for a moment. Yeah, Belanger, he's 0 for 1. He hit a sacrifice fly in the 2nd, and he flied out to Lowenstein, I believe, in the 4th. Base hit in the left field. That is hit number 6 off of Tidrow. Here's Jim Palmer. He's over 2. He struck out in the second. He popped out to Fossey in the fourth. On the outside half of the plate, strike 1. Ground ball down the third base line. That's foul. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Strike 3. That is strikeout number 3 for Tidrow. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Baltimore 5, Cleveland 1. For the Indians in the 6th, it will be Tom McCraw, Ray Fossey, and Buddy Bell. McCraw is 0 for 1 today with a walk. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, that's his second walk of the day. Base on balls number 4 for Jim Palmer. Here's Ray Fossey. He's 0 for 2. Grounded into a force play in the second. He flied out to Merv Rettenman in the fourth. Fossey, he was having an MVP caliber season in 1970. Hit .315 with 20 home runs, but his season got shut down in August when he injured his hand. And he just hasn't been quite the same with the bat since then. He hit .293 last year, but his homer total was cut almost in half, and he played in 25 more games than in 1970. He's off to a bit of a slow start with the bat. High and inside, ball 1. It's a shallow fly ball in the center field. Blair coming in, Belanger going back. Blair has it. 1 out. Here's Buddy Bell. He's 1 for 2. He hit flied out the center in the second, and he singled in the fourth. Ground ball to third. Robinson to second for 1. Throw to first, not in time. 2 outs. Buddy Bell's on first. Here's Frank Duffy, who's 0 for 2. He struck out in the second and grounded to Belanger in the fourth. Swing and a miss, strike 1 on the fastball. Inside, ball 1. Another swing and a miss, strike 2. Duffy hits a base hit in the right field. Bell rounds second. He'll take third. We have runners at the corners. 2 outs. Here's Dick Tidrow. He's 1 for 2 today. Tidrow singled, and he scored his last time up. In fact, he scored the only Indians run of the game. The 0-1 pitch. There goes Duffy. Slides, throw. He is safe. That's his first stolen base of the year. So the Indians have 2 outs. Runners in scoring position. The 0-2 pitch to Dick Tidrow. Too low, ball one. Strike three called. That is strikeout number 6. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We played 6 here in Cleveland. It is Baltimore 5, Cleveland 1. Baltimore has 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They've left 4 men on base. Cleveland has 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. They've left 8 men on base. Baltimore scored first with one out in the second. Mark Belanger hit a fly ball down the left field line to Alex Johnson. That scored Boog Powell on a sacrifice. Third inning, Buford led off with a single. Rettenmund walked. Blair sacrificed them both in a scoring position. Powell singled. That scored Buford. And Robinson grounded out the McCraw. That scored Rettenmund. That made it 3-0. Then in the 5th inning, with 1 out, Paul Blair hit a 2-run homer. That made it 5-0. And in the bottom of the 5th, with runners at the corners and 1 out, Alex Johnson grounded to Belanger. They forced Brohammer at second, and Tidrow scored. And that's where we're at right now. In the 7th inning for Baltimore, it will be Buford, Rettenmund, and Blair. Buford is 2 for 3 today. He lined a Brohammer in the first. Brohammer made a great catch. And he singled in the 3rd, singled in the 5th. So he's hit the ball hard all day today. The 0-1 pitch. Grounder to second. Brohammer boots it. Oh! And Buford will take second on that error. So here's Merv Rettenmund. He is over 2 with a walk. It's high and tight, ball one. Probably some nerves today among the Indians playing Baltimore. Tidrow and Brohammer just now. It's fly ball down the left field line. Alex Johnson is after it, but that makes the seats. It's 1-1. When asked about his young team, Ken Aspromonte is adamant. He is adamant that the Indians have a real shot at finishing as high as second place this year. Fly ball in the right field. Shallow fly. Buddy Bell coming in. He's got it. 1 out. Bell's got a lot of range out there. He is a third baseman by trade, and the Indians are thinking about possibly making him a second baseman as well. Here is Paul Blair. He is 1 for 2. He had a 2-run homer back in the 5th. He has 2 runs batted in today. Powell's on deck. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Foul tip. Ooh, that was right off his foot. They'll let him walk it off a bit. And he's back. Tip that Fosse hung on. Strike 3. That's strikeout number 4 for Dick Tidrow. Here's Boog Powell. He's 1 for 2 today. He walked in the second. He singled in the third. That scored Don Buford, and he struck out in the fifth. Fosse had a jump for that one. Ball one. Inside, ball two. Inside, just off the ground, ball three. They're not giving him anything to hit, it looks like. Oh, right down the middle. Strike one. Powell was taken all the way. Ball four. Tidrow's barking at. He's barking at the ump, at Larry Knapp. But they're calling that ball four. That's walk number three given up by Tidrow. Here's Brooks Robinson. He's over three. He drove in a run in the third on a force play. Fosse goes to talk to Tidrow. Elrod Hendricks is on deck. Robinson hits a fly ball in the center field. Lowenstein is there, and he's got it. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Here in Cleveland, it is Baltimore 5, Cleveland 1. This is WJST in Parma, Norwich, and Tuscaloosa. Take a look around the league again. Top of the 9th in Montreal, the Cardinals lead the Expos 3-1. That's Reggie Cleveland for St. Louis and Mike Marshall for Montreal. Bottom of the 6th at Fenway. Yankees lead the Red Sox 12-2. Ron Blomberg is 4 for 4 today with 5 RBIs. That's Fritz Peterson for New York and Bill Lee for Boston. Top of the 5th in Texas, the Angels lead the Rangers 2-1. Frank Howard hit his first home run with the Texas Rangers. That is Ricky Clark against Pete Broberg. Pete Broberg, phenom from Dartmouth. Came up last year in similar circumstances to Steve Dunning coming to the Indians from Stanford in 1970. And bottom of the 6th in Milwaukee, the Tigers lead the Brewers 1-0. It's Joe Coleman against Bill Parsons. For the Indians in the 7th, it's the top of the order. John Lowenstein, Jack Brohammer, and Alex Johnson. John Lowenstein, he walked in the 5th. He came in as a pinch runner and defensive replacement for Del Unser after Unser was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. The 1-0 pitch. Blooper in the right field. Base hit. It's his first hit of the season. Here's Jack Brohammer, who's 0 for 3 today. He's still looking for his first major league hit. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. Caught the outside half of the plate. Strike one. Inside, ball one. Up and in, ball two. Curveball, strike two called. Another fastball. He fouled that one back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Grounder up the middle. Johnson to his right. To second for 1. To first. Double play. 4-6-3 double play. Johnson made a nice backhanded stop. 2 outs. That brings up Alex Johnson. He is 1 for 3. And he drove in the Indians' only run of the game. The 1-1 pitch. Grounder to short. Belanger's up with it. Throw to first. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, no one left. We played 7 here in Cleveland. It is Baltimore 5, Cleveland 1. For Baltimore in the 8th, it will be Hendricks, Johnson, and Belanger. Hendricks is 0 for 2 today, and he was also hit by a pitch. The 2-0 pitch. Base hit into center field. Hendricks rounds first. Going for second. He slides. He is safe with a double. They're going to get busy in the Indians' bullpen. Vince Colbert will be warming up. Today's attendance at Cleveland Stadium, 2,683. I don't know, a chilly Saturday and a week after the strike. We'll see how that affects attendance. Here's Dave Johnson. He was 1 for 3. He singled in the second. Base hit in the gap. Got past Alex Johnson. Lowenstein throws it in. Johnson's in with a stand-up double. Hendricks scores. It's 6-1. Here's Mark Belanger. He's 1 for 2 with a run batted in today. Outside, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Strike 2 called on a changeup. Oh, he hit him in the leg. That is the second batter that Tidrow hit today. That'll bring up Jim Palmer. Palmer is 0 for 3. He has 2 strikeouts, and he popped to the catcher. Lays down a bunt. McCraw to throw to third. To Duffy, covering. He's out. 1 out. So that's runners on first and second, 1 out. Here comes Ken Aspromani, and that will be all for Dick Tidrow. Coming in to pitch is Vince Colbert. Colbert's making his 3rd appearance of the year. He has 1 inning pitched. He's given up 2 hits. He's walked 2. He struck out 2. He has an ERA of 18.00. He pitched a 1/3 of an inning in the game in Patriots Day when the Indians beat the Red Sox 7-1. And then he pitched 2/3 of an inning Tuesday, in fact, in relief of Tidrow, and he was involved in that 4-run Boston 8th that enabled them to win the game. So here's Don Buford. He's 2 for 4 with a pair of singles. Down and in, ball 1. Colbert's another one of these young pitchers that the Indians has who throws the ball hard. Last season, he was 5-9 with an ERA of 5.68. Regardless of that, he was one of the few Indians pitchers that actually had some periods of looking pretty decent last season. Liner down the left field line. That is foul. Buford, it's fly ball in the left field. Alex Johnson is there, and he's got it. 2 outs. That'll bring up Merv Rettenman, who's 0 for 3 today, and he walked. Fouls it back. Strike one. Changeup, low and inside, just barely. Ball one. Grounder to first. McCraw has it. He'll take it himself. 3 outs. But Baltimore gets 1 run. 2 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is Baltimore 6, Cleveland 1. Jim Palmer's back out. This may be his last inning. The Indians will send up Greg Nettles, Tom McCraw, and Ray Fosse in the 8th. Greg Nettles is 0 for 3 today. The 2-2 pitch. Base hit in the left field. That'll bring up Tom McCraw. He is 0 for 1, and he has walked twice today. Just off the ground, inside, ball 1. Curveball, high, ball 2. Ball 3, 3 balls, no strikes. In at the knees, strike 1. Ball 4. 5th walk given up by Palmer. That's the 3rd time today that McCraw has walked. Here's Ray Fosse. He's 0 for 3. Grounder down at third base side. That's foul. I don't know how obvious it is, but the Indians are wearing new uniforms in 1972. They've gone back to the red caps, and they have the pullover jerseys now, and the stretch waistband pants. I don't like these uniforms as much as I like the subdued pinstripes that they wore in 60 or in 70 and 71. Too high, ball 1. Fouls it back, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Low and outside, ball 2. Strike 3 called. That's strikeout number 7 for Palmer. Here's Buddy Bell. He's 1 for 3. He is a single today. He's hitting .500 with runners in scoring position. It's a fly ball in the center field. Paul Blair running back. He's got it. Caught that one near the wall. 2 outs. Here's Frank Duffy. He's 1 for 3. He is a single. He has a stolen base today, too. Just below the belt, strike 1. Got hit in the arm. That's the second batter that Palmer hit today. Here comes Jim Warfield, and they're taking Duffy out. They're going to send Fred Stanley in the pinch run for Duffy. Pinch hitting for Colbert will be Luke Camilli. Camilli is 1 for 2 this year. Last year he hit .389 as a pinch hitter. And they have Ed Farmer warming up in the bullpen. The Indians have Ed Farmer warming up. Camilli hit .212 last year, but he hit .389 as a pinch hitter. Worst aspect of his game with the bat is he is prone to striking out. He's 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter this season. High and inside, ball one. Fouls it back. Base hit into center field. Nettles scores. McCraw scores. Stanley stops at second. It's 6-3 Cleveland. Here's John Lowenstein. He is 1 for 1 today. He is a single and a walk. This kind of Indians team I remember from the 70s that even when they weren't going good, they could make it pretty exciting for you at the ballpark. They rarely got their brains beat out. At least in the games that I remember going to. Little tap in front of the plate. Hendricks has it. But he's just going to hold on to it. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Indians down by 3, and coming in to pinch hit for the Indians is Roy Foster. He is 0 for 1 on the season. Last year, he had .241 with the Indians. He had 20 home runs and 73 runs batted in. The year before, 1970, he had .263, 19 home runs, and 66 RBI. So he can get the bat on the ball. He's 0 for 1 this season. Fouls it back, strike one. High and inside, ball one. Some chin music, ball two. Fly ball, left field, Buford going back, he's near the wall, and he's got it. 3 outs. But the Indians get 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. They left the bases loaded. We go to the 9th. It is Baltimore 6, Cleveland 3. Fred Stanley stays in the game for the Indians at shortstop. Luke Camilli stays in the game at second base. That leaves Eddie Leon still on the bench as a possible pinch hitter. And coming in to pitch is Ed Farmer. Ed Farmer will be bat in the second spot that Jack Brohammer and pinch hitter Roy Foster hit in. Ed Farmer is making his second appearance of the season. He has pitched 1 inning. He had walked one. He struck out one. Last year he was 5-4 with 2 saves, ERA of 5.42. He got into 41 games. He had 2 starts. He had periods where he looked real good and periods where he really looked not so good last year. He was in Wednesday's game against Boston. Game that Gaylord Perry took his first loss in. Boston beat the Indians 3-1. Paul Blair leads it off for Baltimore. He is 1-for-3. He hit a 2-run homer in the fifth. The 1-0 pitch. Fly ball to right field. Buddy Bell's there, and he's got it. 1 out. Here's Boog Powell. He is 1-for-2. He has 2 walks, and he singled in the third. That scored Don Buford. The 3-1 pitch. Fly ball in the right field. Buddy Bell is there. He's got it. 2 outs. Here's Brooks Robinson. He's 0-for-4 today. In the third inning, he grounded into a force play that scored Merv Rettenman, so he has a run batted in. Looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth for Cleveland, it will be Alex Johnson, Greg Nettles, and Tom McCraw. The 2-2 pitch. Grounder right back to the box. Farmer has it. Throws him out. 3 outs, nothing across for Baltimore. In the ninth, we go to the bottom of the ninth. It is Baltimore 6, Cleveland 3. Coming in to pitch for Baltimore is Grant Jackson. He's making his second appearance of the year. He is pitched an inning and 2/3. He struck out 1. He has 1 save. And that was against the Yankees. That was on Sunday when Baltimore beat the Yankees 6-4. Alex Johnson leads off. He is 1-for-4 today. He's a single, and then in the fifth, he grounded into a force play, and that scored Dick Tidrow with the Indians' first run. The 1-1 pitch. Base, no! Rettenman was able to put that one away. Thought that was a sure hit. 1 out. Here's Greg Nettles. He's 1-for-4 with a single. That was in the 8th inning. He singled and he scored last time up. The 1-2 pitch. Base hit in right center. Blair throws it back in. Here's Tom McCraw. He is 0-for-1, and he walked 3 times today. Right down the middle, strike 1. Grant Jackson, he brings some heat. He throws a little bit harder than Palmer. came over to Baltimore last season from Philadelphia. I kind of remember Grant Jackson from Baltimore. I mainly remember him from pitching for the Pirates. The 0-2 pitch. Foul tip. Hendricks held on. 2 outs. Cleveland's down to their last out, and it's Ray Fosse, who is 0 for 4 today. He's off to a bit of a slow start in these first 6 games. He struck out last time up. Ball 1. There's a foul tip. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Low. Ball 2. Grounder to short. Belanger to throw to first, and that's it. That's the game. Baltimore wins 6-3. Baltimore had 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Cleveland had 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. Cleveland rallied a bit in the 8th, but it was a little too late. Jim Palmer gets the win. He's 1-1. Dick Tidrow takes the loss. He is 0-2 on the season. And Grant Jackson gets the save. Paul Blair went 1 for 4 with a home run today. And John Lowenstein, in his first appearance this season, coming in as a pinch runner for Del Unser after he was hit by a pitch, went 2 for 2. Greg Nettles had 2 hits. Tom McCray had 3 walks. Dick Tidrow in his second start went 7 1/3 innings, gave up 8 hits, 6 runs. They were all earned. Gave up 1 home run. He walked 3, struck out 4. Vince Colbert and Ed Farmer both looked pretty good in relief today. That's something I'm really glad to see, because last year the Indians' bullpen was like the arson squad. Indians are 2-4 right now, but I like what I'm seeing from them because they're like, in those 4 losses, there's only one where they really seem like they were never in the game. Word from the clubhouse is that Unser and Duffy are both day-to-day. So neither will look like they're going to be going on the disabled list, and they both might be playing tomorrow. The time of today's game was 2 hours and 44 minutes. And the star of the game was Paul Blair. So once again, our final score here in Cleveland: Baltimore 6, Cleveland 3. That raises Baltimore's record to 6-1. They're best in the American League, or best in the major leagues right now. And Cleveland drops to 2-4. They'll be playing tomorrow. Game won't be on televised, though. It'll be Gaylord Perry against Mike Cuellar. So once again, our final score on WJST, Parma, Norwich, and Tuscaloosa, is Baltimore 6, Cleveland 3. I hope you enjoyed this game, and thank you for watching.